So let's just move on further towards the next topic of the rational number, which is nothing but the representation of the rational numbers on the number line. So now we will talk about the representation of the rational numbers which are of the form P by Q, where P and Q are any integers such that Q cannot be 0 on the number line. But before starting it, we have to discuss the two concepts which are related with it. As we know that the rational numbers are of the form P by Q, in which either the numerator is less than the denominator or either the numerator is greater than the denominator. So there are two kind of rational numbers that we have, that is when the numerator is greater than the denominator or when the numerator is less than the denominator. So in both way we have to plot the rational numbers on the number line. So let's just move on further towards the first concept, in which the numerator is nothing but less than denominator. So in this case, now we will see how we will able to plot the rational numbers on the number line. So let us suppose I'm taking an example of a rational number in which the numerator is less than the denominator. Let us suppose I'm taking an example of a rational number which is nothing but 3 by 4. Here the numerator of the rational number is 3 and the denominator is nothing but 4. So as we know that 3 is less than 4, so in such cases when we have to plot such kind of rational numbers, always remember a fact. What is that? Let us suppose I'm writing a note over here. If numerator of a rational number is less than the denominator then the fraction, or we can say the rational number, always lies in between 0 and 1. So always remember this note that whenever there is a rational number in which numerator is nothing but less than the denominator, like in this case 3 by 4, 3 is less than the denominator. So always remember, for such rational numbers they always lies in between 0 and 1. So let's just start the plotting of 3 by 4 on the number line. So let us suppose I'm having a number line over here. Let us suppose I'm drawing a number line over here. So as per my note, 3 by 4 always lies in between 0 and 1 because the numerator is nothing but less than the denominator. So let us suppose I'm writing over here 0 and further I'm writing over here as 1. Okay, so now we have to plot 3 by 4. So always remember one fact. Whenever we have to plot 3 by 4, we just have to see the denominator of this particular rational number first. So the denominator of this rational number is nothing but 4. Now what we have to do, step number 1, we have to divide 0 to 1 into 4 equal sections. In order to plot 3 by 4, you have to follow all these steps which I am writing over here. So step number 1 is always see the denominator of such kind of a rational number first. So now divide 0 and 1 into 4 equal sections. So it all depends upon the denominator of a rational number. Let us suppose the rational number is 3 by 5. So the denominator is 5. Now you have to divide 0 and 1 into the 5 equal section. So it all depends upon the denominator. Whatever be the denominator, we have to divide divide 0 to 1 into that equal section. So let us suppose over here the denominator is 4. So now we will divide 0 and 1 into 4 equal sections. So let us suppose I'm dividing it into the 4 equal section as, let us suppose this is my first section, this is my second section, and this is my third section. Okay, so now I have divided 0 and 1 into 4 equal sections. So now we will see the numerator. Okay, so the step number 2 is now see or look at the numerator. Look at the numerator of the rational number and plot it on the number line. What does it mean? It means that as we know that the numerator over here is nothing but 3. The numerator over here is nothing but 3. Now we have to see the third section of the section which we have divided from 0 to 1. Look out or find out for the third section. So this is my first section, this is my second section, and this is my third section. As we know that the numerator of this particular fraction is nothing but 3. So we have to look for the third section. So this is my third section. So this number after this section, this particular point is nothing but 3 by 4. It is nothing but 3 by 4 because out of the 4 sections, we have to look out for the third. We have to look out for the 1 by 4th section, which is nothing but this section or this point, which is called as 3 by 4. So let us suppose we were talking about 2 by 4. Let us suppose we were talking about 2 by 4. So now over here, 4 is in the denominator. We have to divide 0 and 1 into the 4 equal section like I did in the step number 1. Further, we have to see the numerator. The numerator is nothing but 2. So we have to look out for the 2 or the second section over here. The second section over here is nothing but this one, and it ends up at this particular point. So this point is nothing but 2 by 4. On the same way or in the same sense, let us suppose I'm talking about the number 1 by 4. If I'm talking about the number 1 by 4, so now 4 is in the denominator, so we have to divide 0 and 1 into the 4 equal section again, and further see the numerator is nothing but 1, so we have to see the first section only. The first section out of the 4 section is nothing but this, and it ends up at this particular point, and this is nothing but called as the point which is 1 by 4. So in the same sense, you can write 0 over here as 0 by 4, and similarly you can write 1 over here as 4 by 4. So all of these are nothing but the rational numbers. So this is 0 by 4, 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4, and 4 by 4. So this is nothing but the representation of the rational number whenever the numerator is less than the denominator. So always remember 2 steps. The step number 1 is you have to look out for the denominator first, and then you have to divide 0 and 1 into that particular sections, and second, you have to look out at the numerator. For an instance, if we were talking about the third section out of the 4th section, then for the same steps like I did over here, you have to follow the same steps, and in the same way you have to plot the numbers over here. I hope this particular thing is all clear to you, that whenever you have to plot the numerator is less than denominator kind of a rational number, you always have to remember that the values always lies in between 0 and 1.